Hello everybody and welcome back to Operation Logistics, where I think I have decided that we are going to work on fixing the issue with the map size generation. Because I don't want to sit around and wait for, 2 to 3 minutes every time we want to load up the game. So I feel like this is a pretty good thing to do. We're going to go ahead and bring that down to 5 and 5. And the issue here, I believe, is that our number of height seeds is simply too big. What if we bring that down to 5 as well? Because the problem is that it can't select more things than there are. So there were only 25 and it was trying to put in 50 height seeds. Now, are we going to have the same problem with city seeds? We'll find out. Actually, we didn't. That's interesting. We've got some Z fighting going on there. Not sure why. But as you can see, we now have ourselves a very small map that generated in under a second. So that's the problem there. Let's go ahead and bring this... Actually, what if we were to make this not show in the inspector the number of height seeds here? And instead, in the hex manager, here, number of height seeds, right here. What if we were to make this one be a private int? Place it down here, equals 50. And then we'll just initiate it down here to be, when we awake, we will set the number of height seeds to be equal to the map width. Like that. We'll need to let it compile. Argument out of range exception. Okay. That's interesting. So why did that happen? We can also set this back to public and just check and see what's going on in the inspector. So if we run this, it should put it at 5. It did. And it generated correctly. Okay. So what's going on with this Z fighting here? We should figure that out. Because there's definitely some Z fighting going on. We've got a base hex here. And then we've also got this base hex. Oh, this is the default world hex. Okay. I feel like that's not supposed to exist. Like that. And it must have been being hidden before, and I just never saw it. Yeah. That seems correct. Okay, so this is a 5x5. And then let's go ahead and test this real quick for, like, unusual shapes here. So, like, we'll make it a rectangle 2 times as high as it is wide. Does that work? Object reference not set to instance of object. Get world hex by index. Okay, yeah, that probably wouldn't work. Wouldn't it? Oh, we use map width in both of these. Right, we use map width in both of these. We need map height in one, and I'm not sure which. I think this one. Let's see if that works. I think it's I that needs to be the map height. Yeah, that worked. Excellent. So now we can make maps of whatever size we want, as long as it's rectangular in some way. We can't make it be, like 5 here, 5 here, 5 here, 5 here. We can't do that sort of thing. This took 1.5 seconds to generate. Hooray. Let's just make it 10 by 10. See how long that takes to generate. I mean, it's 1/5 the size and should take like, 2 seconds. That's fine. The real question is, can it ever generate basically all water? .5 seconds there. So yeah, it's the number of height seeds that's doing it. So maybe what we should do is take it as like the average between the width and the height. So if we come up here, we can set this to be equals mathf.average. Nope, there isn't one. Okay, fine. We'll do it this way. Map width plus map height divided by 2. Now we'll go ahead and make it a float. And we'll need to put it all in parentheticals, and we'll do this for order of operations, because I'm always paranoid about order of operations. And this is going to be mathf.round to int. Okay. So that creates an integer for us, and for example, if we have this at 5 wide, or rather, we'll do it 10 wide and 5 tall. So that should give us number of height seeds being either 7 or 8, depending on whether it rounds up or down. I think it's going to round up at 7.5. So that should give us 8 height seeds. And indeed it did. However, it also gave us a null reference exception in get world hex by index. That isn't supposed to be happening. That isn't supposed to be happening at all. Let's run this again and see if it gave us another null reference exception. And it did. So do we have our width and height inverted in that function? It kind of looks like it might be. So this might need to be map width, and this might need to be map height. It worked fine when they were both the same thing, but they're not now. So, does that work? Yeah, that worked. Okay. So then, I kind of feel like it needs to be wider. Let's make it be 20 wide and 5 tall. What could go wrong? And this is the same as a 10 by 10 grid, it's just wider. Yeah, that seems to work fine. Now it took 5 seconds to generate. We're going to go back to a 5 by 5 grid for right now though, just for testing purposes. So let's go ahead and make sure that everything is working properly. We'll come on in here, and all of this appears to be working fine. Ooh, this is a nice circuit. We will go ahead and purchase this storefront right here, knock it on down, and build a postal office. We will go ahead and create a route, and the route will head up to here, and then over to here. We'll put it, I guess, right here, just to make sure that it's working properly. Okay, and then select the postal office, create a delivery vehicle, enter transfer vehicle mode, assign it into the route, and you see a shipping crate spawned over here. And the vehicle is indeed moving nicely. Also, you can see that with a hex or with a map size like this, we're having no slowdowns at all on the hour tick. I like it. That's very nice. We're also getting a lot of packages spawning. Like, a whole lot of packages spawning. They're all within the same world hex as us, right? Yes. And you can see that they are congregated around where we exist, which is nice. Okay, so that seems to be working. Excellent. The next thing that we need to do is we need to get rid of this debug.log. There we go. And I suspect the reason that this is taking so long is in building.onHourTick, which is nothing. On MinuteTick is much more. So what is causing all of the delay on the hour tick on the larger map size? What is happening on the hour tick? Well, the hour tick is where it generates packages, right? So let's go into the package manager. And in the package manager, or rather the parcel manager, we can see that the generate pickup package from building right here. Well, that's done in the minute tick, right? Hang on. I'm very confused now. On month tick, blah, blah, blah. Hour progress. A lot of this stuff here doesn't need to be run in most buildings. So, yeah. Close enough to player structure. How do we calculate that? How do we calculate that? Is that a function? Or is that a get? It's just a get? Okay. So I missed it up here then. Ticks on minute, balance. I missed it again? Where could it possibly be? Oh, it's down here. I gotcha. Close enough to player structure. So if manager.business.hexmanager.get distance to nearest owned building. I guarantee you it's this that's causing the slowdown when there's more. Let's go to the implementation of that. This might become a pretty slow algorithm if the player has a ton of buildings. Potential optimization location. Well, we might need it. So, return 1,000 if there's no owned buildings. Fair enough. And yeah, it has to iterate through every single building to find the closest one. And then return the distance, which is just a square magnitude, but even so, when you're looking at doing this millions of times, that can cause a slowdown. Okay, so in that case, we might want to store this value. Okay, I'm going to do this in a to-do over in my to-do spreadsheet. I'm going to say potentially store distance to nearest owned building, then update that when a new building is built. Because, I mean, it wouldn't be too bad when you're building a new building to have it pause for, what, like a 1/10 of a second. That wouldn't be the worst thing. Alternately, we could have it offload that onto a different thread and then just have it flag all of them for updating and then go through and update them on a different thread. That's a possibility. I'm actually going to put that down as maybe on another thread. Okay. So there's that done. And now the question is, what do we do next? Do we start implementing the pickup package? Sure, why not? However, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick, and next episode, we will start implementing the vehicle picking up packages. Subscribe for more, and I will see you all next time.